welcome.
Hey! Who put these kids in here? They're a little bit too young for this.
We got this one to share between us. So, you guys were just telling me in the interview, and I don't know if everyone out there knows this, but there was a pretty awesome reveal, even to you guys, about who the traitor was. So perhaps we could pick up with that story, because Joe Malazzi, creator, did something pretty hilarious with it.
You're gonna make us go.
And I'll jump on it once.
We went through it once, AJ.
Well, did one of you think that you were for sure the traitor and were surprised that it was Six at the end?
I don't think any of us really knew for sure because, I don't know, we got the last script a little while before we actually filmed it, but we didn't know, who was actually going to be the traitor. So we had a while to try and figure out who it was. A lot of us had it right in the beginning, and then we had so long to think about it that we all changed our answers. And so by the time we actually found out, it was like, we were all wrong, but I was right before. And yeah, I don't think any of us really knew for sure though. We were all just kind of guessing.
Anthony, be honest, didn't you want Three to a little bit be the traitor? A little bit?
No.
I know it probably seemed maybe obvious that it could have been you, but I kind of wanted it to be you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I think it's interesting because, yeah, pretty much all of us, when we read the script, we were like, I think it's Six. But Joe is wonderful at misdirections. So you go to Joe and you're like, Joe, it's Six, right? This is why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's like, and he comes up with all these great reasons to sort of send you off in another direction. So it's true that by the end, I don't think anybody of us thought it was Six.
Or he continues with the for about 5 minutes until you walk away. And you're like, okay, I'm not gonna get into it.
We also want to mention as well, there's one person on stage at the end of the table who, at least in the context of Dark Matter, you won't recognize. But this is Melanie, who's a new cast member on season 2. So Melanie, you've done lots of great work in the past. We're also going to see you coming up on Game of Thrones as well, which is huge. What can you tell us about Dark Matter, your character, and how she fits into season 2?
Nix is, oh goodness, she's a wonderful character to play. Badass.
Badass?
Yes, she has a special skill set, kind of heightened killer instinct. And
Cool.
Oh, more?
More.
Oh, no.
So heightened killer
I
instinct.
knew it is.
And so is she a fighting character? Is she a character who
She
takes
sure
a
is,
lot of
yeah. So we've had some great fun. We worked with a great head of the stunt team, John Stead. He's wonderful, and we've got to do lots of fights with some of the cast, but again, without giving too much away. But yeah, we've had really good fun.
Can't wait to meet your character. So I know you guys are under pain of death from Joe and Paul and the other writers and creators of the show, not to spoil anything, but what can you tell us about where we pick up with season 2? It was that incredible cliffhanger, the big reveal that Six is potentially a traitor, but we don't know that. Maybe he's under mind control, something else could be going on. What can you tell us about where we pick up with season 2, Melissa?
Oh.
Yeah.
That was good. That was smart.
Yeah, well, season 2 picks up with us in Galactic Authority Prison. We see us being carted off at the end of the season of season 1, and it's kind of us figuring out what to do. And I think actually 2 is the only person who wakes up knowing who betrayed us, because she has that moment where she saw him before he zaps her out, and yeah, seeing how that relationship kind of figures itself out, and what do we do when we're in prison?
Yeah. Well, Anthony, what about 3? What can you tell us about where we pick up with him and maybe his state of mind? And also want to mention that we're going to go to audience questions in just a second. Toronto Comic Con is all about you, so please just toss up your hand if you have a question, and we'll try to get to you.
Well, Melissa mentioned it, we're all in prison, and what can we do? So 3 starts a contraband ring and becomes very rich.
That's really? Tweet it!
And and that's a spin-off series.
Called Oz.
A little bit like Stanford and Sons and something like that. That's it.
And Alex, what about 4? Your character had a great arc in season 1. What can you tell us about where he's at in season 2?
Well, as you all know, 4 was a mouthful in season 1. No, he gets to discover a bit more of himself, and he already had a hard time trusting, whoever was around him. So season 2 takes off, and it's even harder now to figure out, who should I trust? Which one of you guys here? But we visit his storyline even more this year, and I'm really excited. I know Joe has written up a masterpiece apparently for episode 12, and I'm really excited for that.
So are we, Jodelle, season 1 was huge for 5, and especially those last few episodes, we got a lot of revelations about your powers, about your past. Obviously, Will Wheaton's character referring to you as Rebecca. What did you think of those revelations as you read them?
What? Wait, what?
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. It's Saturday. What did you think about the revelations around your character?
Yeah, I mean, quite a bit happens in season 1, but I kind of love in season 2, 5 gets to go on a lot more adventures and she's a lot more involved and she gets to be just a little bit more badass than she was in season 1. But season 1 was cool because you got to find out her backstory, and in the beginning, obviously, you don't really know anything about anyone. And she's so mysterious because everybody's trying to figure out who they are, and she's like, I have these random things that I say sometimes that are a little bit creepy, and I know things about the crew, and who knows why. So it's really, I really like her storyline in season 1, getting to find out why she's so mysterious and why she says these strange things all the time. But season 2 is even cooler.
That's awesome. Sorry for crossing character plot lines there. It's a lot to keep track of in my tiny brain. Let's open up to the floor for questions. We got any questions from Dark Matter fans out there? Hello, how are you?